Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today we are here with a fun video. We're going to talk about 10 pretty bad films that have some absolutely amazing cover art. And you know how that can sometimes sucker you, or definitely me, into buying a film. So pop that tape in, I got you. Let's go do this. All right, so I've got and I probably have enough to do a couple of videos on this, but we're gonna start with just 10 films because I don't do a lot of blind buying unless it's been recommended by someone. But there are certain times that art, I'm a sucker for the cover art. I've told you guys before that I'm a kid again in an old mom and pop VHS rental store looking at those VHS covers. I paint, I'm an artist, like all that packaging. It's something that I dig, so it can get me sometimes. And now, sometimes these films are actually films that are considered bad that I like. And so they're kind of like so bad they're kind of good, and you enjoy that part of them. And I may even do a list of those where bad films that people think are bad that I actually enjoy. But right now we're going to talk about the artwork that has suckered me into some of these, and maybe some of these have gotten you guys too. That's not to say I don't enjoy some of these films, but some of these films will probably never cross the threshold of the door on my 4K player ever again. But there's probably a couple surprises on here too. Uh, the first one up, and I don't have these in any sort of order, but I'm going to go ahead with the one that kind of started this idea for me. And yeah, it's one that I picked up from Orbit DVD from Visual Vengeance. This is Lichen Colony. And yeah, wow. Like, I mean, that cover art, and that's not even the best part of the cover art here. And I know the light is reflecting, but this thing looks good. Werewolf movie about this family that moves to this town where everybody's a werewolf. But look, this art is just part of it, right? The slipcover art. Look at this badassery right here with this cover art. I mean, holy gee, that is absolute badass right there. Um, you have it's like a werewolf working the counter at like a bar slash video rental store with neon going on back here. This thing is absolutely epic looking. It's a werewolf movie. We don't get enough werewolf movies. This looks like it came out of the 80s. Again, it almost looks like a bar slash video rental store with neon. I mean, it's got everything you want. That artwork, like I would have paid for the artwork. The artwork is so good. And then you open it up and it's got some stickers in here. It has an air freshener an air freshener that is New Hampshire forest scent. And then you continue digging on in here. And I mean, like this, I'm not sad that I bought it because this right here, like that cover art is epic. And look at that, a little poster of that. Dude, come on. Lichen Colony. That I'm telling you, this is like everything right here. This art is awesome. Unfortunately, the movie, I had a hard time even making it through this movie. I have to admit, I skipped forward. This is like a direct, it looks like a direct shot on video film. Um, but man, like it is really rough, low quality, like really in the, it's like, I'm trying to be nice because I know how tough it is, man, to be an independent filmmaker. Um, I mean, they have a quote, a review on here from Best of the Worst. So, um, yeah, I'm not going to just hammer it because I know how hard it is to be an independent filmmaker. but it looks rough. It really looks like somebody shot it with their camcorder and just kind of with whoever was around to say lines. And it's definitely different. But like, I mean, there's a lot of people that are into that kind of thing. It's just not for me. But man, I would pay. I am not sad that I bought it because this artwork is so amazing. So this is the one that actually started the idea of this, and definitely. I don't know if you guys can see any of the like screenshots there. I couldn't find anything to pull to try to kind of show you, but definitely different and definitely one that got me based on artwork. Now, the next one is from maybe one of the biggest culprits on this, is just because they do such an amazing job restoring stuff and marketing it and stuff. Vinegar Syndrome is going to be guilty of a couple of these, and I love Vinegar Syndrome. I want them to put out Dark Road 79. Like, I love Vinegar Syndrome because of the care they put in to even bad films. And one that I got recently, there's a couple. Vinegar Syndrome's going to make a couple of appearances on here. One I got recently, and I'm sure some of you guys may disagree, but this is a VSA. This is Ninja in the Claws of the CIA. And look at that, though. Dude, that is absolutely amazing artwork. You got this big slip box. This thing is numbered. It's a VSA release. And it's the same. Like, if you get really close, like, it's pretty provocative there. And this scene, like, there is a BJ scene in this movie that is like odd, to say the least. But I mean, you get this amazing slipcover art. Like, it's everything like 70s style looking sexploitations, John Liu. I mean, it's a crazy, it's like martial arts, but he's in the CIA type film. It's one that I'm going to keep in my collection. I will never sell this. I'm happy to have it. It's hand numbered. To me as a collector, that's a big deal. I mean, I'm sure there are tons of John Liu fans out there and things like that. I think I'm saying that right? I know he's been in done plenty of films. This is written and directed by him. The campy nature of the title, that series, martial arts, all that's there. But like, man, for me, it's like, this is not my type of movie, but this artwork, I mean, like, that alone, and that definitely got me. And then it's numbered, so not the worst offender by far, but definitely on the list. Let's shed a little more light on the subject. It's getting dark in here. Woo! Now I'm really bright. This is from Vinegar Syndrome 2, kind of. That's where it came from. This is from DeGausser Video, so this is another shot on film situation. Make sure I'm focused there. Boop. This is another shot on video type situation. And this one is one that I'm sure you probably heard these stories before. This is so bad that Tom Savini, who is on the cover here, the Ripper, Tom Savini, has like disassociated himself with it. Like, there's like a story I was reading where at like some convention, he basically said, I'll go down to my knees and beg your forgiveness for being a part of this film. It had like a $75,000 budget, which, to be honest with you, is more budget than I've had on some films. And they came out looking better, and I didn't have Tom Savini. But it's about an old antique like ring that turns like a college professor into a maniac when he puts it on. And it was supposed to, I think, originally have belonged to Jack the Ripper, who possesses the ring. And I gotta admit, like, I didn't just like watch straight through. I kind of skimmed some parts. But like, dude, it's Tom Savini. And look at that cover. You Jack the Ripper, everything about that. Like, look at the back of that thing. Like, my movie Creature Feature, I I love the Jack the Ripper and like that kind of old like London fog type scary vibe, all that kind of stuff. Creature feature, I there's like a story of Spring Hill Jack from that Victorian era of England, and it kind of gets mixed in with Jack the Ripper. So in that movie, like Spring Hill Jack is like the main villain who are bringing all these monsters to life. So I'm like kind of down with all that. I had to have it, man. Like it was a good deal. This is actually one that I probably will watch again, but it's not a good movie overall. I mean, but it's one that has its charm. I feel like as a so bad it's kind of good, and the story behind it, and then that cover art though, the Ripper. Uh, so Tom Savini begs forgiveness and doesn't want anything to do with it. You know that's not a good sign, but I like kind of having a little piece of the history, and the art helps sell it for me. All right, we're going to take a break from picking on Vinegar Syndrome, some of their movies here for a minute. Like, I mean, I can't stress how much I love Vinegar Syndrome, but just not all their movies are my cup of tea, but damn, they do a good job putting them out. The next one is another kind of independent film, and this was put out by one of the labels one of my movies was put out with. And you may not have heard this because I don't hear a lot of indie film talk in our community. And maybe I'll talk about some more indie films and some places where you can get more indie films. But this is called Poe, Project of Evil. And I was basically given this, but I thought it looked so cool. This is an anthology. I was like super psyched. Like, this is an anthology based on different Edgar Allan Poe. I almost said plays, but Edgar Allan Poe poems, and like The Telltale Heart, The Pit and the Pendulum, stuff like that. So I was like, cool, man. I love that kind of deep, like gothic, like mysterious horror there and everything. And look at that cover. Looks like something you might see from opera there, does it not? But of course, it's the Raven, quote the Raven, nevermore, all that. So I was like, man, this looks so cool. And there's 7 tales in this, and it's like out of Italy initially. And y'all, there is a scene, and I can't remember which Poe poem it's supposed to be, where there is an ape-like creature that kills 2 prostitutes, but it actually shows the rape-like creature or the ape-like creature raping one of them first, and it complete with what is obviously a fake rubber like monster penis, and man, it's like it's too much. Like, the movie is like it loses so much track for me, goes so far off of everything, but it's like, man, it looks cool, the concept is cool, and then it was just like, let's be as messed up as we can. It says the film focuses on the bloody, violent, and disturbing portions of the insights of the writings of the infamous Boston author. Like, that's all they did. They kind of left the story behind, and they like took this stuff and just went way out with it. So like, maybe if you're into like some crazy Italian horror or something, you're into that. Like, this is one that it went in one time into my player years ago, and it will not go back in. But man, like, as soon as I saw Opera, the new Severin release of Opera, I was like, oh man, it totally reminded me of this. And it hurts because I think it's such a good concept. But there it is. Whew, that scene is rough. All right, so back to picking on Vinegar Syndrome a little bit more. This is one I didn't have a lot of high hopes for when I got it, but I am totally into collecting the whole VSU line. It doesn't matter what they put out. I think it's fantastic what they're doing with them. And I'm talking about Six String Samurai. And look, this thing looks so damn cool. Like, all this artwork on here. These VSUs are outstanding. I mean, that is super duper cool. But it's like, what is it, like a post-apocalyptic future, and he's going to Lost Vegas. And again, this is one, like, I'm gonna give it another try. I admit I was tired when I started watching it, and I started kind of to skim when I started to lose interest. But I mean, it's super cool looking. Um, all of this artwork. This is actually probably my favorite artwork here on the inside. Which, I mean, I can't say that helped buy it because you couldn't see that before. But I mean, I was gonna buy this one anyway. I kind of like this shot right here too. I mean, the artwork is fantastic on everything. You got this guy who can play guitar and wield a sword, both with complete badassery. So I'm gonna give it another try. It would not have mattered because this is one of those where Vinegar Syndrome, where I'm gonna be got by the collection and by the incredible art and just how that thing looks. I mean, give me a break. This thing is awesome. It's hard to argue that it doesn't look amazing. Got it for $20 on the sale. I mean, no harm, no foul. I'm actually happy to have it. So like I said, I don't like hate all these movies, but they don't fall into ones that I would say, oh man, that's such a good movie either. And there's going to be one that really pains me to say that. All right. We got a few more here. Got 5 more. We are going to get off of Vinegar Syndrome again and go to one that I just picked up recently. And this is from Indicator. And holy hell. All right. This is Demoniacs from Indicator. And look, y'all, that picture, that art right there totally sold me with that packaging. And like, I know that the film is kind of infamous, so I wanted to see it and kind of hear the director talk about it because that was all in there. And I mean, that just, look at that, just that looks so awesome to me in the middle, like nothing else, no words, no anything. Like, that looks so incredible right there. The film is messed up. Like, it starts out, you got like this, like, basically like pirate type sea captain and a couple of his crew, including this woman who is not a good woman in any way. Her and the sea captain are having sex like outside on the beach, and there are these 2 younger women who are like have stumbled through there. It's not really clear, but a couple of his like deckhands or whatever, there's like 3 of them, they're like into like just chasing, beating, raping, killing these girls. And there's just a lot. It's almost like a ghost story though, because like they come back to kind of haunt him, get revenge in a certain way. But like, there are these 2 long, like, sort of not softcore but not hardcore sex scenes somewhere in the middle that were added in for the unrated cut that just kind of go on and on and on. And I mean, this chick right here, this actress, is nude a lot in the movie, and she wants to kill these women worse than the guys do. It is. I will never watch this movie again. That will never happen, probably. I might actually. This might be one that I actually sell, and I don't do that much. But it's shocking. But I feel like it's shocking for the sake of being shocking in some ways. Like, I definitely like. This is an infamous one that played in drive-ins and stuff like that, and you can kind of see why. It's definitely like that vibe. If it wasn't so much about like, and see, I started to think this might be why I'm not as into some giallo films and Italian horror. Like, I'm not into like just brutalizing women. Like, I don't know. I'm so self-conscious of being a bully because I'm a big guy and everything. And like, I mean, I know Argento talked about how he's always like looking for more ways he enjoys killing women and on screen and stuff. And like my horror movies, I'm equal opportunity. It's not like set out to purposely inflict pain. And I feel like there's that vibe that's kind of like a meanness underneath that I don't dig at all. So, but man, that image just that made me purchase it. Like as an artist and a filmmaker, that was just like a strong statement of that actress right there on a white background, painting like epic art movie. Whew, crazy, 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 crazy. All right, so I got 4 left, and we're gonna go back to Vinegar Syndrome, and this thing is absolutely awesome looking. The Amazon jail, actually this is a double feature, 1 and 2. Like check this out. That looks like an old like 70s drive-in movie poster to me right there, a grindhousey type movie poster. You check that out. Look at that. But here's the problem with this, and I mean it's pretty much like the same on the inside. I mean it's definitely a sexploitation film, which is fine. Like if that's what you're into. Um, but it's like I was talking to my friend Chance about this. Like something that bothered me about the movie, number one, it shows these chicks, like these women here, they look like badasses, right? They look like they're gonna kick some ass and everything, and I think that's cool. But they don't. They're actually really just fighting with each other and used sexually and for work, like sexual favors and like party favors is basically what they're used as. And it's like I was talking to my friend Chance. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, there's something about this and demoniacs, or however you say it, that bothers me. It's like, it's not like watching an adult film, and it's not art, or even an adult film, and it's not like watching like a horror movie that has lots of nudity and sex in it, because I've put nudity and sex in movies that I've done. But like when you get movies like this one, and this one's nowhere near as mean spirited, I feel like, is this one. But when you get movies like these, I was talking to him, like, I can't figure out what it is about these that put me off, that make me not enjoy them as much. And we finally landed on the fact that while like horror movies and stuff may exploit sex and nudity as part of the story, it's just that. It's part of the story. Like teenagers or college kids or whatever, people are going to be people. They're horny. They want to have sex. People get naked. They get silly when they party. They do all these things. It is a thing that happens, and it puts them in a situation in order to be gotten by the monster or whatever. And it's it makes sense. These feel like exploitive to just be exploitive of people, not as part of the story. It's like they set out to be exploitive first. And I think that's the difference. So it's not my thing so much. But the artwork, that looked like a old like drive-in 70s movie poster to me. And I had to have it. I got a really good deal on it. So there it is. All right, we'll lay off Vinegar Syndrome again. And I'm going to go to one. This is like a studio release. It's probably going to surprise you all, but I'm talking about Rob Zombie's 31. Now, you talk about a 70s style poster. That's when these were getting popular. And I was in love with it. I wanted a poster for Dark Roads kind of done in this style like that. That artwork, of course, the back is a studio release, so it's whatever. But that standalone 31 on the side, all that artwork there. Try to give you a close look. Looks so cool, right? The movie, though, is a ripoff of The Running Man. Like, it is 100% a ripoff of The Running Man, where it feels like Rob Zombie, like with the script, is a slave to his style. If that makes sense, like he's having to serve his style that he set forth in like House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects and stuff. And I love my man Bill Moseley, but like Bill delivering these lines with that original character is one thing, but then I just felt like everything Rob Zombie did went to that redneck, trashy, whatever, overly verbose, with foul language, like, and I mean, I cuss all the time. I have to be careful in here, but it's like it becomes like a shtick instead of realistic, and that's what happens here. And then they really make it feel like it's really a Halloween thing with it being called 31, and it's kind of only really just adjacently related to Halloween. So it was not my favorite. I was like, man, this is just The Running Man, told by Rob Zombie. But there it is, because that artwork is awesome. And of course, being a Rob Zombie movie, I was determined to check it out. I didn't get to see it at the theater, and it got me. It still looks cool. This is not one that I would just say I would never watch again, but it's definitely close to that. All right, I had to jump up before the last two because Van Helsing is on the TV over there, and it just got loud all of a sudden for some reason. So I have two more, and this next one is going to hurt me because I actually do enjoy this film, although for all intents and purposes, it's not actually a good film. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy bad films. And it literally has a role model icon, one of my favorite actors of all time in this, person I look up to and have over the years in so many ways. I'm talking about Red Sonja and this amazing steelbook release. This is Studio Canals 4K here. And let me take it out of this. This artwork right here on this steelbook, no camera I have in here with the lighting is going to do this justice, even though that's a 4K shooting raw I mean, it's 12-bit color, whatever, all that. It looks awesome. But man, this steelbook, like, that is one of my favorite pieces of art ever on a cover right there. Like, that is absolutely awesome. But if you don't know the story here, he's not playing Conan. He was supposed to play Conan as a cameo, and all of that was done with a deal to help him get out of. He basically signed a lifelong contract. As long as they wanted to do Conan movies, he had to be committed to do Conan movies, and he wasn't allowed to do anything else. Most people don't know that. It's in his book. So he had to basically beg to get out of it. And I think it's John, isn't it John Milius again? Or no, not Milius. That was the original director. Dino De Laurentiis, the producer, said, okay, Arnold, I'll let you out of your contract, but you got to do a couple movies for me somewhere along the line. You have to do this. And he was trying to get another Conan movie. He couldn't get it. I hear you, kitty. My cat's going. He couldn't get it going. So they made this movie instead, and he was supposed to do a cameo as Conan. They couldn't get the rights for him to be Conan in it, from what I understand. So then, they changed things up and you have the Red Sonja story, and he's Caldor, and there's like a whole big thing. And Arnold was only supposed to work 3 days on this movie. He ended up working a month on this movie. He was not supposed to be featured on this. This was supposed to be the Red Sonja movie. And they ended up making it like an Arnold movie. And he really never, he felt kind of backstabbed about it. And the movie has its problems. It's fun as an action flick and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's definitely one I'll watch and stuff like that. But it wasn't a must-own for me immediately until I saw that artwork. And when I saw that artwork, it was a must-own. And I actually do enjoy this movie. But essentially, it is a bad movie, and there's a lot of problems that went into making it. So it's on this list because it would not have been a must-buy until I saw that art. All right, the final one on this list, and I mean, we're just having fun with this. The final one on this list, I think, takes the cake, and of course, it's Vinegar Syndrome, Man, I saw this cover and I was like, whoa, that is going to be hot. It's going to be like a sexy Friday the 13th, something like that. You guys have probably seen it in my background over here because this is one of the coolest ass covers ever. I'm talking about Terror at 10 Killer. And I don't know if you can tell, but that's like embossed lettering. And I mean, how awesome does that look on the cover? Hello. You got the killer behind her coming out of the lake. And then if you flip it around, it gets better. Like, very sexy, very alluring. You see the shadow of the killer above her. All of that. It's embossed along the side here. But man, that's pretty much where it ends. Because this movie is painfully slow. There are long stretches of minutes where these girls just keep coming back to this phone on the kitchen counter and just sitting there and talking, and nothing happens. And like, nothing happens like in this movie. That's the problem, is like nothing happens hardly. I mean, there are, there's like a good kill at the beginning, and I mean, it's just painfully slow. Like, I don't know that, and like the inside is that same thing. And then I do need to watch some of the special features on this. I have to admit it. I haven't watched the making of or anything else. Maybe that would give me a new appreciation. But you see them down there. This artwork is epic. And then I think if you open it up and look, you have on the double discs, you have them again there. And it has the reversible art. This is the other side of the art, and I think this was the original, and this is super sexy too here, and cool. Look at that. I mean, that's all. This artwork is awesome. Like, that was awesome artwork, and then you replaced it with this artwork, which is awesome too, even more awesome. And then you get this nice thick embossed slipcover, and I mean, that's just beautiful. Like, I mean, she's hot. That's sexy. You see the killer back there. Same thing here. She's in a compromised position. She looks hot, sexy out there at a lake too. And you see the killer standing over her. I mean, it is super enticing to watch. It looks like so much fun. It's like it's going to be a fast-paced type slasher with, the fun sex and the nudity and stuff like that in horror movies. And man, it just is slow. It's slow. It is nothing in that vein. And I just don't think it's a very good movie. But it's an all-time champ for cover art. Like, it is super cool. You guys will see me. I'll put it over here a lot and see, because it is awesome to look at. So I'm happy I got it. I didn't pay very much for it. I will not get rid of it. I will keep it and love that artwork and everything. And that's kind of like what this is about. I just wanted to have some fun with this, just a fun video. I might do some more of these because there's definitely some contenders. But you guys let me know. I'm sure that a lot of you have been suckered in by beautiful cover art too. That's why blind buying is like buying lottery tickets, man. You're just taking a shot. You're taking a shot. But it is still fun, and if they look awesome, who cares, man? It's like Lichen Colony. I do not regret buying that one bit. That is amazing artwork. I'd have paid just for that artwork. That's how cool it is. Same thing with Terror at 10 Killer. Same thing with Red Sonja. All that. I love it so much. So you guys let me know. What are some movies that suckered you in with great artwork that turned out to be kind of stinkers, but you're probably going to keep them anyway? Let me know in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this is just a fun one today, but we do all kinds of lists, 4K reviews, physical media news, anything in this realm, we talk about it here. So if you want to be part of that, please consider liking and subscribing. And hey, even join the channel below. You can become a channel member, be part of the Pop Culture Friends family, be a pop culture icon, a fan, all of that stuff. And you can do that on my Patreon as well. The link is down there. It's basically the same stuff on YouTube and Patreon, the extra stuff that I can put over there, the extra features and all that kind of stuff. I can just do a little more on Patreon than I can get away with on YouTube. So you can, get a little bit more stuff over there to do. And I'm always adding. I'm working on some cool things to add here now to the members tier. But you don't have to do any of that to be a part of this. Just like, subscribe, ring that bell, share it, spread the word, comment, have fun. I really appreciate everybody that interacts with me, that watches my videos. I am still humbled. I told somebody the other day, I am humbled now, just like I was. Like when I was at horror conventions, that the thought that anybody would stand in line to buy my movie or take a picture with me or talk to me or get my autograph, anything like that, was mind blowing. I could work for the next 100 years making movies with the biggest names, and I would never feel like I earned that. But I am very grateful that you are all here, and I just enjoy this so much. So if you do, please like and subscribe. And until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. I know.